Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you are well. We're going to take a look at Affinity Photo and what we call the core foundations within Affinity Photo. What this means is we're going to be looking at things like the interface, where we're going to look at the menus really quickly, of course, and very gently. And you'll notice that if we look closely at this, while this is the desktop app, not the iPad app, we are going to take a look at the things on the right-hand side, which are mostly your layers and your layer effects. And then on the left-hand side, you can see that there are all your tools and the things you're going to be using to sort of build like a piece of artwork that's here. And then across the top, we've got our regular menus. Now, first of all, we're not going to be using all of them. So there's no need to be worried or anxious about seeing all these menus, and it looks very confusing and very professional. We're only going to be using maybe 6 at the most. So we don't need to worry too much about all these scary menus. We're going to show you very gently how to build this up over the next couple of lessons. One of the things we're going to be using most of all is this thing called opening, saving and exporting files. This is going to be super useful, especially when you're working with your teams, whether you're working with a partner, whether you're working in a 3. And so when you're working with your friends and you're making this project, you need to be able to go and send this file backwards and forwards to in Teams, maybe in a chat, or to me. And so I need to be able to go and read this file that you've made and maybe make edits to it so that I don't have to ask you for permission to go and edit something. So this is going to be really helpful, and we're going to do that every single lesson. The other thing that's really helpful is, and also crucial, is layers. So layer management, being able to go and use these layers so that when we are working on top of one thing, that we're not destroying a thing underneath. So you can see this lady's face here. It says subject, and we've got some text over the top, and then we've got some things called masks over the top of that. And what we don't want to do is start to destroy the image underneath, because if we do accidentally ruin something, then the layers will help us save those things, and it means that we won't go and destroy things underneath. To do this, we have to go and use things called selection tools. Now, if you look closely at the very top here, there's a thing that looks like a magic wand or a wizard's wand. We're going to be using that so much. And so also a thing called the selection tool, which is this special brush underneath. And also we have things like a lasso and marquee rectangle tool and a refine edge tool. All these things work inside this little menu here for these selections, and they're super handy because as soon as we make a selection, we can do anything we want to that selection without destroying the rest of the picture. Moving sizes and cropping tools, this is going to be super handy because the size of our artwork is going to be 1-to-1. It's like a social media post. But because of that social media post, the shape is 1-to-1. It's like a ratio. Each side is like a square shape. This also goes onto old-fashioned LP covers, which is part of our project. Also, we're going to be changing the way that our photos and our pictures and the way that our artwork looks and behaves, so that we can see that this picture is very dark at the moment, and someone's using a thing called curves. This curve that's on the right-hand side allows us to go and make a selection of maybe this building here, to go and make this building brighter than it actually is, and therefore stand out on this very otherwise dark picture. And it allows us to go and change the way that the picture works. Within this curves, we actually utilize a thing called masks, and a mask is super handy because, as this picture here allows us to have a look at, there is a circular mask over the picture of these. They are, I forgot what flower, tulips. So these tulips here, you can see that somebody's gone and put a circle over here and kept the original colour of the tulips in the field it's in, and then made the rest of it in black and white using a thing called a mask. Because masks are going to be helping us to go and do something to a picture, again, without destroying it. Layer effects. Now, you may have seen YouTube thumbnails and looked at the pictures and seen the lettering, and around the outside of the lettering is an outline, sorry. With layer effects, this allows us to go and add shadows, glows, outlines, and just super creative things that we want to go and add to our layers. Whether it is writing, whether it's a picture, whether it's a piece of artwork, whatever it is, we can go and apply a piece of special effects to it, and it allows us to be a little bit more creative and be a little bit more professional than we otherwise would be in something such as PowerPoint or a piece of art, another art tool, maybe like Paint. This takes our artwork to another level. That's it. That's our little introduction. That's what we're going to be looking at, and that's what we're going to be working on in the next few lessons. As always, good luck.